There's 5 major benefits for any B2B organization to have a YouTube channel, and I'm going to go over them now. They all just happen to begin with S, so I'm going to just call this the 5S benefits of YouTube B2B or B2B YouTube. So look, the first one, it's really important. It is suggested, okay? So basically what I mean by this is that YouTube has already done all the work collecting all of the data about the people that you're trying to reach. If you put together the right kind of videos and you use the right titles and thumbnails and descriptions and you say the right kind of things in the videos, which I'm not going to go over now, it's a whole other thing. I'm not talking about the packaging here, but if you get that all right, YouTube will suggest that video to people in their own personal YouTube feeds, okay, from their homepage or their suggested videos. When you're watching a video, it shows suggested videos over here. When you log on, it shows suggested videos. Even for most people who are subscribed to somebody now, a lot of your subscriptions don't even show up in your suggested feed, because YouTube is now using different algorithms to say, well, actually, this may be more beneficial to you. This looks like it's something you've been looking at before, something similar before. This would be a relevant video for you. So YouTube is already, after doing all of the work, collecting thousands of different pieces of data so that they know the video that you're putting out, they're putting it already in front of the right people. This is by far the easiest way to get your messaging in front of somebody. Like, you could do thousands and thousands of different pieces of outbound, even if you're doing like SEO on your own website and all that sort of stuff. Don't get me wrong, you should do those things 100%. But if you put in the time to make a really good YouTube video that's going to help somebody and provide value, based on obviously what you do, what you can provide for somebody, YouTube will suggest that. That is so powerful. Now, this also stacks up over time. If you have one video that's very good, YouTube can suggest it to the right kind of people. If you have 2, then obviously there's more chance they can suggest it to people, 10, 100, whatever it may be, okay? So it's so important to understand this, that YouTube will push your videos out to the right people. They have the data. You don't need to worry about it. You just need to show up and create the videos that would be valuable to your audience, okay? Really, really important. So the next one then, which is kind of on the same kind of terms, is search, okay? Now, as I said there a moment ago, SEO for even your own website is obviously incredibly important. You should definitely do it so you can show up in traditional search and even AI overviews that are coming up these days as well now. But it's really important as well, because even with all of the AI overviews that are coming up and different things, YouTube and YouTube videos are still one of the things that are pushed out and suggested by either AI overviews or by the likes of ChatGPT, or even in traditional search, okay? So if you want to take up even more real estate, and obviously the more real estate you can take up, the better, because you obviously want more eyeballs on whatever it is that you're doing, people will see your YouTube videos via search. Now, that's even if they go to YouTube and use the search box there, and whatever it is that you do, and they type that into the search box, you are the solution, you're the video they're looking for, so extra powerful. So even if YouTube doesn't suggest it to them already, but they're looking for something specifically, if they type it into YouTube search, your video has a chance to show up, okay? Even if they don't type it into YouTube search, kind of what I said a moment ago, and they type it in, let's say, traditional search into a traditional Google search, Google owns YouTube. They are pushing out YouTube videos in the search results to people, okay? Whether it's traditional search or whether it's AI overviews, because somebody could search, again, let's just take an example that everybody would be aware of, accounting software. How do I do XYZ with my accounting software? How do I bank reconciliation? Whatever it might be, okay? Whatever it is that you do, okay? If someone's searching that and they get an AI overview, even AI still says, here's a video that you also might find helpful. So you have more opportunity to show up there as well. Again, YouTube's doing the work for you here, and Google and YouTube and AI and ChatGPT, whatever it is, they're doing the work for you here as well, okay? So it's absolutely mind-boggling to not do this sort of stuff. The absolute power that's in it. Look, and I can do a whole other video about the reasons why people don't make YouTube videos, the fear of being on camera, the fear of not having the right equipment, the fear of whatever it is, okay? If you want something like that, you can leave a comment below and I'll try my very best to make a video of how you can get over that sort of stuff. Because if you start doing these things, trust me, it's gonna make things so much easier, okay? So you have your suggested, you have your search, and the next thing then, which a lot of people don't realize about their YouTube videos as well, is your YouTube videos, they become absolutely powerful sales assets, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you can use this in multiple different ways, okay? So let's say, first of all, you have a piece of content, as in a text, a blog, article, whatever it may be, on your website. You can embed that video onto your website. Now, if it's obviously it has to be the video, the same kind of thing you're talking about on that blog post, or something relevant on that blog post, and oh, here's a video that we made about that. You can embed it onto your website as well, okay? Now, I don't have any evidence of this, but I would imagine that Google like to see you do that, because Google own YouTube. If they see that you've embedded YouTube videos on your website, look, there's no harm to do this anyway. Even if it doesn't give you a boost in any sort of algorithm, it still makes sense to do it, okay? Because it also pushes authority across to that person who's on your website, okay? So it's absolutely a sales asset, first of all, to use. But also, even if you're on a sales call and someone says to you, yeah, we're interested, we just had a concern about XYZ, we've tried it before with other companies, how do you do it? If you have a video all about that, you can go, oh yeah, that's no problem. We have a video all about it here. And even if they just see the title and the thumbnail, that gives enough trust so you know what you're talking about, okay? We used to use this all the time when we ran a B2B done for you SEO agency. B2B SEO agency, which was done for you, okay? So we used to use this all the time. We had videos about how we did our keyword research and how it was different to everybody else and why we got results, how we got backlinks and how we specifically use different techniques than other people and why our results stick, okay? So you can see all this stuff. And even if, for example, let's say, because again, in the B2B world, it's very rare, depending on what you're doing, that you have a one-call close. If you have these that you can follow up with afterwards based on what somebody said to you on the call, again, that just pushes this up super, super fast, which actually brings me on to the next section then as well, because the other benefit of having these YouTube videos, even in the B2B world, is that you then have a sales cycle speed up, okay? Now, we are all very aware that in the B2B world, that the sales cycle typically, for most of us, is a bit longer than what we'd actually like, okay? We all want to speed that up, okay? Because obviously we want to go from initially getting somebody's attention to them being a paying customer, paying client as soon as possible, okay? In the likes of local businesses, cafes, florists, that usually works on touch point number one. Even on a lot of e-commerce websites, again, depending on the price, you can actually get a lot of first touch point to revenue like that. In the B2B world, it doesn't work that way, and we know it doesn't work that way, okay? So let's be realistic about it, but it doesn't mean that we have to just accept that, oh, it's going to take, for some of you, it could take 18, 24, 36 months. For some of you, it could be quicker. Again, it all depends on what you do and the kind of deals that you're putting together, okay? But regardless, the sales cycle speed up comes because you use them for sales assets, because you, as I said, you keep following up with these people afterwards, or even show them before it, or again, to be honest, it's actually any stage of the pipeline, okay? So let's say that even before someone is in your pipeline, okay? So they're not even at the top of funnel, they're not middle funnel, they're not bottom of funnel, okay? Actually, let me just draw it over here, okay? So let's say here is your funnel, okay? Let's say that we have top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel, okay? So we have tofu, we have mofu, and we have bofu, okay? So what's really important to understand is that even before someone is actually here, okay, what they're doing is they're watching a YouTube video, and they're watching a YouTube video, and they're watching a YouTube video, okay? That's supposed to be a play button if you can't see what that is, okay? So even before they've gotten into here, there's a lot of trust being built here, okay? Because they could be somebody who either saw you from suggested, or they keep seeing you in suggested, or they search for something and you provided a solution to them. And because of that, then you're showing up in the suggestion again because of, oh, well, if you had that problem and this video solved it, you might have this problem, and this video can also solve it for you. So there's so much trust already built here, okay? So before they even get here to whatever it is, download a lead magnet, to book a sales call, to get a demo, to join a webinar, whatever it is, okay? Whatever you're doing to get someone into your funnel, there's already so much trust built, okay? So instead of them sitting in here for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is, okay? The only way that someone can go from here to here is with elements of trust, okay? So they are essentially going to bypass this to move into here, okay? And even when they're here, they want to, let's say, book a call. Again, it's so fast because they're going from here to here. There's so much trust, because let's say you have somebody's email now at this stage, and you can follow up with them even automatically just to give value, and all you have in that email sequence is, here's how we fix this problem for that particular person, here's actually a video on how we did that, whatever it is, blah blah blah, okay? There's so much trust being built here by using these YouTube videos, okay? They are sales assets which will help you to speed up your sales cycle, okay? It's absolutely crazy to not use this, especially in this day and age. Another kind of bonus tip as well, which I actually wasn't thinking about when I put this video together, or the kind of notes for this video, is that especially now in the world of AI, especially in B2B, because as cheesy as it sounds, B2B doesn't exist. It's really H to H, human to human. Humans buy from other humans, okay? There's so much AI nonsense out there now that if you can put somebody in front of a camera just to kind of go over some simple things, to speak the language that your audience speaks all the time. Because here's an example for you, okay? A very meta example. You are in the B2B world, so you probably understand tofu, mofu, and bofu. If I went to a random person on the street and said, what's your mofu look like in your pipeline? They'd probably look at me like I have two heads, okay? But I'm using language that you understand and terminology that you understand, so therefore you have then an element of trust in me. This guy knows what he's talking about. And yes, I'm pulling back the curtain here to say, in a very meta example, that's what's happening here, but that's how powerful this can be, okay? So use it to your advantage. But again, the point I was making there is there's so much trust up here that someone comes in here. Even if they come in here and they've never seen any of these, as I said, put them in an email sequence here, even automated, doesn't matter, but it just means that there's trust being built faster and faster and faster, so they go through your pipeline a lot faster as well, okay? And the point I was making about AI there is, instead of just putting together an AI with just text on a screen or something like that, just to try and do something, if you can have a person, again, which is clearly not AI, that's going to really help, okay? Now, I don't know if in the future you'll be able to use AI to make something like what I'm making here now. I don't know if that's going to be the case, but I just know that, well, what I do know is that humans like to speak to humans, but what I assume in the future is that there's going to be so much AI nonsense out there that it'll be actually a breath of fresh air to see a human, okay? Now, that's just an assumption of how I feel with how it's going to go forward. But again, if you can put this all together now, you've already got these sales assets built up before this big AI boom and a lot of AI nonsense is out there. Because again, I think a lot of companies are going to use AI wrong to try and speed up their sales cycle, and it's just going to slow everything down because there's no elements of trust there, okay? That's just my opinion. I could be right, I could be wrong. So I'll move on to the last thing then, which is then that this is very scalable, okay? And this is super important to understand because these will continue to work for you time and time again, okay? So again, even if you're going to do, let's say, one a week, I'm just picking hypotheticals here, I'm not saying you have to do one video a week, but just for hypothetical numbers, if you do one a week, and let's say you take a couple of weeks off for holidays or whatever it might be, let's just round it up to say you've made 50 videos over a year, okay? That doesn't mean that, so let me just be very clear, okay? The point I'm trying to make here when I say that they're scalable is not only can you continue to do them, okay? But the life cycle of these is so much longer than, let's say, social media, okay? Social media, people are going flick, 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 okay? Your video's done and gone, okay? Especially if it's stories or reels or something like that. I don't know about reels, but I know with like the stories, I think they stay there like 24 hours. I've never understood that. I've never understood the concept of that because it just means that the content you've made is gone. I don't really get that. Now look, we will start doing that at some point in the future. Even though I don't get it, I know the market responds to it, so I'll do it regardless. But I'm way more interested in this because those 50 YouTube videos that you have, it doesn't mean they have a 24-hour life cycle. Even if you open up YouTube now, okay, or go to the homepage now, obviously wait till this video is over in a minute. Even if you go there now, it will tell you when the video was uploaded. You could see a video, let's say up here, that was uploaded 24 hours ago. The next suggested one could be uploaded 3 years ago. The next one could be 13 years ago, okay? These continue to be sales assets for you that YouTube and Google, with all its massive data, is continuously pushing out to more people who would be relevant to actually have a conversation with in regards to getting them into your pipeline, okay? These continue to work over time. So this is not a one and done kind of thing. If you make decent videos that are for the right kind of people, they'll continue to see them year after year after year, okay? This is super, super important to understand that. So hopefully let's say that before you watch this video, you were kind of hesitant about doing it. You're wondering, why would I do it? And look, before I finish this video, I should say, if you are going to start making videos for B2B YouTube side of things, don't be expecting a million views. Don't be expecting thousands upon thousands of subscribers. You're going to get small views. You're going to have small subscribers. That's okay, because you're talking to someone very, very specific here, okay? So don't worry about vanity metrics. Don't worry about views. Don't worry about subscribers. Don't worry about all that sort of stuff, okay? All you need to be concerned about is that the right people are seeing your videos, okay? That's all it comes down to. Because again, you can push them out to people yourself by using them as sales assets, either in email follow-ups, post-call follow-ups, so that you can speed up your sales cycle, whatever it is, okay? And then you can use them again and again and again for all the people that you need to kind of follow up with at some point in the future, okay? And a good way to figure out, well, what video should I make? Well, what concerns have people had before, okay? What problems have you solved for people before? What's an easy way that people can do X, Y, and Z themselves? Again, just give them a snippet of what you can do for them, and then obviously you can take over for that particular case in the future, okay? Whatever it is that you do. So they are the 5S benefits of YouTube for B2B. Absolutely 100% you should do it. It literally doesn't take a lot of time, again, depending on how you're putting together your videos. Again, in a previous video, I'm not sure if you saw it or not, but something like this, I'm literally in front of a whiteboard talking to what is just my phone. That's all it is, okay? So I don't need anything fancy. That's it. They're really, really simple videos. There's no editing, there's no whatever. Yeah, so hopefully you got some value from that. If you want to learn how to scale a bit more and other tactics that you can use to get more B2B leads consistently that are obviously very qualified for who you want to work with, you can check out the first link in the description as well. But other than that, hopefully you got some value. Enjoy the rest of your day.